So I shoot about 5 nightclubs and bars several times a month, and I have 10 insanely quick tips that will definitely improve your photography. And at the end, I'll even share my secret camera settings. And if you want to see more of my work, you can follow my Instagram over there, where I post a lot of super cool images. Now this first tip is actually just a video recommendation. If you haven't watched this video and you do flash photography, you're really missing out. It made my images go from this to this, so watch it. Tip number 2, vibe with the crowd. Remember, it's a fucking nightclub, have fun. If people talk shit to you, talk shit to them. And don't think you're any cooler than people just because they are drunk. Be casual, let them see the pictures, let them do extra poses. And if an image is awkward, it's probably your fault. Tip number 3, tell people what to do. And for those of you who want to capture authentic images, shut the fuck up. You're just starting out, you don't have that liberty yet. And with this, I mean, tell them to put their hands in the air, stand closer together, stand with a specific background, scream or even dance. The goal is to create movement, which again creates more of an interesting scene. Number 4, shoot a bit wider than necessary. I never use the viewfinder, so getting the compositions right is not always the easiest. So shooting wider than necessary makes it a lot easier to crop in post, and 99% of images are posted on social media, so megapixels or resolution is not really that relevant. Point number 5 is to dress the part. Don't dress up, fit in. Don't use too much complicated gear. If you have a battery grip, put it on because it looks cool, and to everyone else the camera looks more professional. And don't try to look angry or professional. Kill your ego, try to look happy or at least neutral. The goal is to be approachable. Tip number 6. Don't be a creep. Don't stand by the dance floor and watch people for hours. Go away, watch from afar. When the drop hits or you see people are vibing, go in, do your thing, and then go out. And this is mainly important if it's like a small nightclub like the ones I am shooting. And don't shoot only women. People notice, don't be a creep. Tip number 7. People look very intimidating until you ask them for a picture, and most of them will turn around and get their friends. So ask everyone in a group or that you see are vibing. They have dressed nice for a reason. And while we're down here, tip number 8. If somebody comes up to you and asks to delete their images, do it immediately. If you don't, you'll probably forget, and when you send them off to the client, you're fucked. And don't send off images to your client if you know the person in frame would feel uncomfortable with having the image online. Use your brain, people are drunk. Tip number 9. If you're just starting out, use the first times to practice, memorize and experiment on different settings. The faster you are while taking the pictures, the less people have to wait and the more poses you get. And this is also important for your blitz. One power setting will not be enough, so learn the different ones. So I hope that helped. We still have one burst of tips that I find very important, but before that I'd like to talk about my upcoming full nightclub photography walkthrough. It's gonna be a lot more slow paced. There's gonna be a lot more information from everything from start to where I am now. There's a lot that goes into this. I've skipped so many steps, but I thought like a top 10 tips in a few minutes would be like a good introduction for people. So remember to subscribe or your images will forever be weak. Now also pay close attention to the last ones because they all deserve their each paragraph. Okay, so presets are dangerous. Each image is different. An image is never supposed to be saved in post. Don't drink. Use a clear glass or mist filter. Make friends with the staff. Shake the camera for cool effects. Never use the viewfinder. And bouncing the flash off the walls and ceiling is basically a myth. Okay, so for the things you've been waiting for, I was debating on putting this in or not because it's not really that relevant, and it's important that you understand the settings instead of just applying everyone else's. Anyways, just to get this over with, I'll just read all my settings. There's not much of an explanation, but it's very general. Anyways, my shutter speed is all between 1/90th of a second to 1/13th, so it's a very slow shutter speed. I use the flash Godox TT350 at 16, 32 and 64 power in manual mode. F-stop is between 4 and 5, doesn't really matter. ISO you'll have to figure out yourself as well. And my focus is continuous autofocus and medium burst. And that's about it. And then I use a lens that's preferably like wider than 30 millimeters. With that said, you've got a over 10 tips in under 5 minutes. Just please keep in mind that this didn't take 5 minutes to create, far from. I'll leave my Instagram in the description below, and if one of these tips made any difference to you, please leave a like. It really shows that what I'm doing is working, and maybe even consider subscribing, because I have so much awesome content waiting. Anyways, see you tomorrow.